What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a chat about the One Piece card game because we've got some news about sets 2 and 3. Now, what's really interesting is that we do actually have listings for set 2, Paramount War, and set 3, Pillars of Strength, on the official website. It tells us very, very little. I mean, Paramount War, I'll give them this. They've given us the booster pack artwork. It's the same as the Japanese booster pack artwork, but hey, at least they've given us the booster pack artwork. And then it tells us this. The second booster pack is finally here. Experience a fierce battle with One Piece cards, and then it's $4.19 a pack as we expect, 121 cards made up of 8 leader, 45 common, 30 uncommon, 26 rare, 10 super rare, and 2 secret rare. Pretty standard, honestly, that is about what we're going to get moving forward. It'll change by a card or two here or there, presumably. That's what's been happening with Digimon, but nothing major. We need to look out for if there's more super rares or secret rares in a set, because that is going to make the set harder to collect, etc. But outside of that, there's nothing particularly groundbreaking here. They haven't even given us a release date. They've just got it listed for Q1 2023. But here's the good thing. We can go and look at distributor websites. And I do this for Digimon TCG as well. I have done pretty much since the beginning. Because if you go and look at the distributor website, they do have a release date. And they have a release date for Paramount War of the 10th of March. Now, interestingly enough, the 10th of March, they've also got listed as a release date for Starter Deck 6. That is the Navy Starter Deck, the Starter Deck that brings black as a color into the One Piece TCG. But there's nothing really to add here. We've got the release date listed. That's wonderful. But if we go and look at the distributor listing, there's no new information about Starter Deck 6, like, at all. It's a Navy deck led by Sakazuki. Well, we knew that because that's the leader we see in the Starter Deck when it came out in Japan, and it's been out in Japan for a while. A new black deck to join right away. A new ready-to-play black deck. Well, we knew that as well. A new KO your opponent concept. A super control deck based on the concept of KO your opponent's character. Inspired by Sakazuki's belief of absolute justice. We know this. We know that the black color in the One Piece TCG is built around lowering your opponent's cost down to 0. And then getting automatic KOs on those characters that have a cost of 0. Although there's other things you can do, get extra skills when there's characters with 0 cost on the board, etc. But none of this is new because this deck came out in Japan already and there's nothing different about the English release. It looks to be very literally identical to what we saw over in Japan. The 2 super rares are going to be Smoker and Monkey D. Garp, if anybody's interested. And that's basically it. That's what we've got. So there's no new real information there. We've just got the release date. But we do have information about Paramount War. But I'm afraid to tell you, it sounds very much like we see the Japanese release. So a second booster themed around Paramount War, featuring characters such as Whitebeard Pirates, the Free Admiral, Ivankov, and many others who went on a rampage in Paramount War. Also includes a number of cards that can enhance the Starter Deck 6 to be released simultaneously. Because obviously these are coming out on the same day, black is introduced in the Starter Deck, but then Paramount War is the first booster set where we've actually got black characters. And fully fledged inclusion of the new black characters, enhancing the decks to be released simultaneously, and including new combinations of multicolored leaders, such as the red and black Garp, and more. But you'll see there that the breakdown is exactly the same as it is on the website, which is exactly the same as it is over in Japan, and that's not to say it's not hideously exciting, but what it's really confirming for us, and let's be clear, this is a big deal. They are confirming for us that this is the same as it is over in Japan. So we know that the super rares are going to be the same. We know that the secret rares are going to be Uta and Kazan. We know that it's going to bring in all of those lovely red cards that make Red Rush redonk. which incidentally is a very big deal. Red Rush is the best deck in the game in Japan right now, and it's really not even close. So this is kind of a big deal that this is happening. But we have a release date, and that is really rather lovely. Now, if we go and have a look at the third booster set, that being Pillars of Strength, is Mighty Enemy in Japan, it's Pillars of Strength over here. Same kind of deal. And to be fair, it's really not that far away name-wise. We actually have even less. Because we don't have the booster pack artwork. Now look, here is the Japanese booster pack artwork of OP02, next to the English booster pack artwork of OP02. The second set. Now here is the Japanese booster pack for OP03. You can picture it, can't you? Like, you know what the English booster pack is going to look like. It's going to look like this, but kind of molded into a more English style of pack, just like we see with OP02. That's going to happen. So although we haven't seen the booster pack, come on, we kind of seen the booster pack. And then we've got the same basic information that we saw for the previous one. New yellow cards are here. Mighty enemies from fierce battles now gather in the One Piece card game. And we got a date for Q2 2023. We got the same RRP of $4.19. Don't expect that to change anytime soon. That should be the same for a while. And then we've got 127 cards. And that's made up of 8 leader, 45 common, 32 uncommon, 26 rare, 10 super rare, 2 secret rare. Well, that's all fairly standard, honestly. That is about what we would expect. Again, they're going to differ occasionally by a card or two here or there, but as long as we've got 10 super rares and 2 secret rares in the set, that's going to sound about right. Hang on a second. 4 special cards? What? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we need to run to the distributor website to figure out what is going on here. Now, there's a lot of stuff here which we are expecting. The third booster is now available, themed on Pillars of Strength. Fine. A third booster themed the strong enemies of the past, featuring characters from Water 7, East Blue, Big Mom Pirates. Also includes a number of cards that can enhance Starter Deck 7 to be released simultaneously. Now, we do have a release date here of the 30th of June. And we have confirmation that Starter Deck 7 is going to be releasing on the same day. And this makes sense. This is, interestingly enough, what they do, Bandai, for Digimon. They do tend to release starter decks and main sets just on the same day. And certainly, releasing your black starter deck on the same day as a set which introduces black, and your yellow starter deck on the same day as a set which introduces yellow, that just makes too much sense not to do. So this, yeah, that's fine. We don't need to talk too much about it. Again, there's nothing new we can learn from the listing for Starter Deck 7. It's all exactly what we would expect. It just tells us we're going to get the same starter deck we've had all the way along. The same one they've had over in Japan. And we're not going to dig through the description like we did with Starter Deck 6 because we kind of know it. Although, to be fair, it is interesting that they've said a life manipulating deck that mimics the abilities of Lin Lin Soul Soul Fruit. Restore your life and use Soul Focus or Life or Dead to mess with your opponents. We don't really know a huge amount about that, but the yellow cards we've seen so far have very much been about taking your own life and getting advantages for doing so. So let's go back quickly then to Pillars of Strength, this third booster set. Because we've also got fully fledged inclusion of new yellow cards, enhancing the decks to be released simultaneously and introducing new combinations of multicolour leaders, adding a new range of strategies through combos never before seen. And we have actually seen some new combinations of multicolour leaders from the Japanese reveals so far, like for instance Arlong, who is a yellow and green leader. And given that it's the first set with yellow, it kind of has to be the first set with a yellow and green leader. But then we get new type of Alt Art cards, new style of Alt Art cards from OP03. This set includes 4 types of cards with the most requested wanted design. What? That's new. Of course, we've already seen that in Romance Dawn we had Manga Shanks. And then in the second set, Paramount War, we had Manga Ace. Well, now, apparently, there's another thing. Now, do remember, I showed you that card the other day, which was a very interesting card because it seemed to be like a new kind of rarity. It's Rob Lucci, and we have actually seen Rob Lucci from OP03. It's that card, but with this weird kind of gold design. Well, is that going to be the wanted design? Because, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to look way more like this. I got this image from Amazon. But this seems to be the kind of thing they're talking about. This is a wanted design. So presumably there's going to be some wanted posters, and interestingly enough, you can buy a whole bunch of different wanted posters as you go around the internet and have a little bit of a look. I'm assuming it's these. Now, I don't know if these are in the Japanese version or not. Digimon does have some exclusive English cards in their sets now. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is in a Japanese set and we just haven't seen it yet. It doesn't say English exclusive, and the distributor listings generally tend to say English exclusive where they are. So I think this is a new kind of card that we've just not seen yet from the Digimon TCG. And I wish I could give you more information. I'm sorry that I can't. But this is really, really cool. And there's going to be 4 of them in the set. We don't know what they're going to be in terms of rarity, how rare they're going to be. But they are alt art cards, and presumably they're going to be alternate art leaders. And bearing in mind, this is a set that is built around villains. I've already shown you cards like Rob Lucci and Arlong. So it would make sense that they take 4 of the villain leaders and do kind of wanted poster alternate art. This is very much a prediction on my part. I can't tell you for certain, but this does seem a little bit sensible now, doesn't it? So yeah. We might not have been able to glean much new information about the second set, but there's a tasty bit of information about the third. But we've also now got free release dates. And having free release dates is very, very interesting indeed. Because now we can maybe start to have a little bit of a look at what's going to happen in terms of a release schedule. Although, to be clear, we really don't know much. You know, let's take a little bit of a break on that one. But we saw that Romance Dawn come out on the 2nd of December. We've then got Paramount War coming out on March the 10th, which is 3 and a bit months. And then we got Pillars of Strength coming out on the 30th of June, which is kind of 3 months and 3 weeks. So it seems to be 3.5 months-ish between sets in English. Now, let's be clear, this is very rough, but we had just under a month and a half between sets 1 and 2, and just over a month and a half between sets 2 and 3. So I would be expecting set 4 in mid-October, because you go 3.5 months from the very end of June, you got middle of July, add 3 months, middle of October. I cannot say this for certain, for obvious reasons, but I've told you before, I'm not going to bother trying to predict some kind of release cadence for sets until we have enough information to actually go on. And although 3 sets really isn't very much, it's starting to get to be a bit now, and that is very interesting to me indeed. We've got release dates, we've got a bit of a cadence, we've got news of some wanted posters, we've got news that the starter decks and sets are going to continue to be the same as in Japan, which, don't sleep on that, that is pretty big news, but now it's over to you guys. I want to know which of these pieces of news is interesting to you. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter.thewasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions, join a Discord and chat with us, and just generally have an awful lot of fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.